Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. So, yeah, I was watching the news just like an hour ago, too, just seeing this morning in LA, and it is apocalyptic. So the NFL has a backup plan now. If they can't play the game on Monday in LA, it'll be played in Arizona, Pat. But what a crazy 72 hours in Los
Man.
Angeles.
I've been through that Pacific Palisades. It's that cute little village town down it gone and nothing left. I mean, it just went through there and it looks like, it looks like I don't know what, something after World War II bombing or something. And it's yeah, well, 100-mile-an-hour winds for a while there. My God, and a little spark. Who's got a political problem is the mayor of Los Angeles, who took a lot of money out of their fire services, and now she's in Ghana. She's in
Did you see
Ghana.
her
What
getting
they?
grilled by like a British reporter yesterday?
Is she coming?
Was
She hasn't come home yet, huh? She's still in
oh.
Ghana. I don't know. She's got a problem, but yeah. Now I'm sure there are Viking fans saying, "Wait, we had a better record than them anyway. Why don't they move the game to Minneapolis instead of Phoenix?" But there was never a chance they were going to do
Phoenix
that.
would be a
So
home game for the
Phoenix would be
Vikings
a
more
home
than the
game.
yeah,
Rams.
yes, that would be. Oh yeah, that would. I mean, it's going to be. That takes the crowd advantage. I don't know how long what are they going to wait till Saturday? Probably maybe to tell. I mean, the Vikings got to get on a plane and decide where to
It
go
might
here
be
pretty soon.
tomorrow.
I think so.
Yeah, for
Maybe
fans and for TV purposes. I mean, you've got to move a lot of infrastructure
that's
quickly.
right.
So
That's
I'm
true.
guessing, but I mean, there's no way with what they're going through. And in fact, before I went to bed last night, the Hollywood Hills were on fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
So
yeah.
like this is I don't see how you can actually have a football game with
Inglewood's
all that stuff.
fine, but I mean, Inglewood isn't getting it out by the airport. But it doesn't make any difference if the rest of the town is fighting fires
Correct.
everywhere. And, so yeah, I would think they're probably going to move it. So another break for the Vikings. The Vikings have had a I think. They got their ass kicked in Detroit, but they've had a very fortuitous season this year. They've had a lot of good things, a lot of good calls for them that have helped them out. And we still want to complain about a face mask where if they'd called it, you still had to go 85 yards in 12 seconds. So I didn't exactly think the way they were moving the ball that day it cost them that much. But they've had it's been a good year, a great year, and a lot of good things have happened. And this would be another one if you don't have to go to Los Angeles. Although I'm not sure what the atmosphere is in that Los Angeles, the big old new stadium out there. What the atmosphere is,
No.
if it's loud, if it's crazy, and I don't
It's
know.
no Arrowhead. It's
No,
no Lambeau. I'll tell you
no,
that.
no. But
It's a
anyway,
nice
yeah, it'll be
stadium.
another it'll be another break, and that's either way though. I mean, if they do win. It's going to be really interesting if they end up getting a rematch with Detroit, isn't it? Because you know, I'm not a non-believer in the idea it's tough to beat a team a third time unless that team stinks.
So I put that out kind of tongue in cheek after the Vikings loss. Like, hey, look on the bright side. It's tough to beat a
Yes.
team 3 times. And a bunch of Lions fans caught hold of it
Oh God,
and
yes.
literally did the math on like it really isn't. If you go back and look at the last, it's like I think teams that are trying to win for the third time are like 18-6 in doing so. Which, you know what? That's a lot better than the 0 and whatever that
Yes,
they.
yeah, the other if you lost the first two, but people, the Detroit fans got to remember that that thing was in doubt late in the third quarter.
Yep.
It just turned into a fiasco later on when the defense finally gave in because they'd had to make plays for 3 quarters and they finally gave in and the Detroit started putting up points. But you still, I mean, if Sam is going to show up, you still have to look at Detroit as having a suspicious defense, don't you? I mean, they,
Yes.
they gave up ungodly numbers of points before the Vikings came in and stunk it out offensively against them. So it's not Campbell is not going to be. He's not going to be strutting around saying, "Oh, thank God we get to play the Vikings again." I don't think he's going to be doing that. But you know, it's it. You're. I think Judd's right though. I don't know how. Just for no other reason than how bad it looks to be playing a football game there with the town burning down. I think that. I wonder if this is the worst fires they've ever had. They've
I
had
think
them
it is now.
before, but Hollywood Hills. There's some expensive homes out there, right? Did you see the James Woods, the Trumper of all time? His house burned down, and he said he didn't have home insurance. Didn't
Well,
have.
yeah, there's like there was a bunch of like policies canceled or something. It's hard to sift through what's true and not right now on the internet, but
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah,
Hey, you
it's
know
rough.
what? Home insurance wise, we're pretty lucky to be here in Minnesota instead of California and Florida, where you can't
Yeah.
get a home insurance. And
I was thinking about
Correct.
that. I was
Yeah.
thinking, I'll take the cold now. You know what?
Yep.
I
Screw it.
would
Yeah.
I'll
too.
take the freezing cold. I'm
You
fine with
know,
it.
Where's the where's the safest if you're looking to avoid devastating fires, hurricanes, F5
yeah.
tornadoes blowing through twice a day,
I don't know
The
We're
colder the
we
better.
are in pretty good shape
The
up
colder
here.
Yeah.
the better.
Yes, we are. Yeah, I mean, once in
Stay
a while
inside.
we get the tornado once in a while, and it gets a little chilly, but that's it's pretty. I mean,
Tornadoes and chili. Come join us in Minnesota.
yes. So anyway, it's the Vikings, though. I do think that they're still favored, right? They're with this. If this
They're
game
1 point
if
favorites
this
this
game gets
morning.
moved, they'll be three probably, won't
It
they?
will
They
go
get
up.
popped. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Hey, who
definitely go up.
remind me who's the crazy guy? The CNBC stock show, Jim Cramer, right? That's that
Oh
guy's
yes,
name.
yeah.
If you were the Jim Cramer of quarterback stocks, what would the Sam Darnold stock chart look like after last week?
Well, he went from being a guy you got to, keep a franchise tag, which would be 40, just to try to get a draft choice for him, if nothing else. To if he throws up another clunker and they get knocked out in the playoffs, he's back looking for a job. I think 20 million, maybe if he's lucky. No, I really think it's half. The recency bias will be terrible. I think in big games if he stinks again, I think it'll cost him a
He'd be
whole
back in
lot
the
of money.
1 year bridge category, right?
Yes, I really think so. I really, somebody might give him 2 years, but not certainly at the prices that were being talked about. Now, I always said that wasn't reality. I always said nobody's going to go that high for this guy, but and then all the experts are saying, "Oh no, he's 200 million," and people were crazy. I don't know. I think maybe okay, it hurt their path to the Super Bowl, but did it help the Vikings in the long run? Did it help them? That
As far as
did
clearing
he?
things up or what?
Yeah, to make it clear what you want to do at quarterback.
Yes.
Now they might have been clear all the time. I don't know, but now we got Daniel Jones who looks fantastic according to all the
He's on the
social
53.
comments.
He's
You
an
should see him in
injury or two
practice,
away.
Pat. Taking handoffs, taking
And
instructions. Great.
now they say that if when he goes and signs somewhere else, this will get the Vikings a draft choice. But the team that signs him isn't going to have to give him any money, are they? Because he's
Yeah,
getting all his
he would
money from the Giants.
well, I think I don't think he has offset language.
Hmm.
There's a couple like Russell Wilson had offset language, and then Kirk Cousins has it. But it'd probably be a 1 year kind of a Sam Darnold type deal. But he would factor into the equation of your comp pick equation, value in,
So you
value
might
out.
get a fifth rounder or some damn thing
Yes.
out of
Yeah,
it, something like that.
yeah.
Okay. Well, it is an interesting situation if you value the draft choice or if you make him the veteran that's security for McCarthy. That's couldn't he stay in that role too?
Absolutely.
If Darnold leaves,
I bet he does too.
Not if Darnold leaves, when Darnold leaves, that
Mhm.
he might be the veteran that they want. So I don't know. It's what about what's our excitement level for the wild card weekend? Which game are we looking forward to
Did
the
you see
most
what we
beyond
did,
the
you guys?
Vikings?
Yeah, they got
What?
rid of
We
it.
we took out Super.
Yeah, what happened there?
It was Super Wild Card weekend, and now Super is gone.
Wow, what happened? Why did we take
They
that
decided
out?
we knew it now, so we know it's
Why are we
Super.
scaling back on the marketing
They
excitement?
Yes,
they claimed that when they brought in the extra wildcard team and the Monday night game, that they wanted to make it very clear that it was new Super Duper. But now that we know it is, they're taking out Super.
Do you
I'm
think
not joking. That's what I
you
read.
think you think that extra adjective was what caused people to watch games? Is that
I
I
love
mean,
the
to
NFL.
do they
Judd's point,
really think that?
if there's a meeting and hey, it's Super Wild Card Weekend, we have two options. We could either get rid of the super and scale back, or we could add another word.
Yeah,
I
super
would have
duper.
leaned toward adding another word personally.
Remember when Reggie? Well, you guys, some of you might not even been alive when Reggie became the Sports Illustrated came out with the Reggie called himself the Super Duper Star, and they had a big
Okay.
cover on the thing. Reggie
Oh.
being the Super Duper Star. So this
Yeah.
could be the
So this is a
Super
missed
Duper.
opportunity for the NFL. It feels
This
like.
is, but the NFL though is so powerful that the college football semifinals have to be played on Thursday and Friday
Yeah.
instead of
They
taking
they
on the
just stay
Vikings on
away,
a
man.
weekend. They can that you got Notre Dame for God's sakes,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make any difference who Notre Dame is playing in the semifinals tonight. It's Penn State, but doesn't make any difference. It's Notre Dame. There's no bigger. I still don't believe there's anything bigger in college football for putting on TV. And they can't go against the NFL on a Saturday night. They can't do it. They gotta play on a Thursday.
Pat, wrestling does the same thing for their Royal Rumble pay-per-view. So like they're big, 30 people in the ring, everyone gets tossed out, the winner goes for the main event at Mania. They purposely now put that in the bye week between the championship week and the Super Bowl. So it's for the exact same reason. So no one is conflicting.
Stay away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure glad I got Netflix now that I found out that that's where I got to go to watch Raw. So
Yeah, hey, you and
Declan told me that
2.5 million
yesterday.
other people from
Did
the
they get
numbers
that many
report.
people? Is that what they're going to get? When is it? When is Raw? When is the big?
It's Mondays,
You
and
just told me.
it's been Mondays for 30 years. They're keeping it on Mondays, 7 o'clock. Very exciting.
Well, it is. It is. But I don't know. You're gonna watch your Notre Dame Irish tonight, Phil. You're still a
I'll
Notre
be
Dame
glued.
fan.
I'll be glued. This is, that they went to the national championship game like 12 years ago against, and I think they were ranked number 1. They faced Alabama, and even the most staunch, hardcore Notre Dame fans knew that they were going to get beat by 30 points by that Nick Saban
Yes.
Alabama team.
Yes.
I think Ohio State's the best team of the 4 left, but they've
Yes.
been known to put up weird clunkers once in
Yes.
a while. So if you can get through Penn State,
Yeah.
we'll see.
And now we're getting the short end of the stick because the game got postponed by the crazy sob in New Orleans, but they asked for an extra day and they didn't give it to Notre
Yeah,
Dame.
they still got a
They-
week. They got.
Yeah, I know it's not that big a deal. So it is hard to believe that they look pretty good for a team that lost to Northern Illinois. I can't figure that. Still can't figure that one out. But
Yeah, you kind of get like now that you get 12 teams in, you're allowed to just have a major clunker. You're allowed to get beat by Michigan at the end of the year if you're Ohio State, or get beat by Northern Illinois, and you can still get in.
your maternal grandfather played at Notre Dame.
Paternal.
What?
Paternal. My paternal grandfather.
Paternal grandfather played at Notre Dame. My paternal grandfather died while embalming a body in Florida in Fulda because he got an infection. So, so
What legacies?
yeah, the legacies are. I don't know if he died 50 years before I came along because he embalmed himself instead of the body. I guess I don't know what the hell
Yeah,
happened,
it's a
but he
dangerous
died.
trade.
He died at an old. Back then they probably didn't have quite the. I think they might have still been putting you in a box when you were done there in the old West or something. He was, but That's a flip there. That's a switch there.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
Hey, one last thing for you here, Pat. The Timberwolves are 2-0 since tweaking the starting lineup and putting
Mhm.
Dante DiVincenzo in and moving Conley to the bench. Did they fix everything with that move?
I don't think so, but I had a thought too. We really spend a lot of time uh, expecting these NBA teams to be, you know, have all their problems solved. Well, the Knicks just got done losing. The Cat didn't play one game. They just got done losing to an Orlando team that its top four scorers weren't playing in New York.
Yeah.
They lost to them. They just had a 3-game losing streak. And you know what? I was thinking about basketball last night, and sometimes the ball doesn't go in the hole.
That's the
Sometimes it's probably the most erratic of games because sometimes, now this isn't a great shooting team to say the least, but sometimes you don't make shots and you get beat. So I don't know if certainly it's a disappointment to this point, but again, the other night they win. Judd, you were there, and the place sounded rowdy as hell. People were having the time of their lives.
Second half
They're
was great.
they're still in good shape with the fans who show up, I guess. I mean, they get mad, they boo a little bit. They don't like Randall, but they're still.
Mhm.
When's the last time that you went to Timberwolves games and it was full every night? Never. Not since 89, 90, and 90, 91 when they first started off. So I think we hear from the Twitter public and the public that comments, but I don't think the other people who like the Timberwolves are as down on them as we've been. I don't think so. Anyway, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, if Anthony Edwards is happy and playing
Yes.
well, I think what makes people nervous is because he went pretty sullen there for about 3 weeks, and and then you'd start to get nervous about is he
Does
going
he
to go to
want
the
out?
Heat or
We got this whole version, this whole idea of the NBA that the guy can get out at any time he wants to. You think Ant is gonna, he can tell him he wants to get traded. That doesn't mean they got to trade him. They can stop paying him, and
yeah. Well, Jimmy Butler is I think 4 for 4 now on awkwardly forcing himself out of an organization.
who's gonna take him for 50?
It
Who's
sounds
gonna
like
take him?
he's telling the league and his agent, Suns or bust. But then Bradley Beal, who just got bumped to the bench, is saying, I have a no trade clause and I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah, and
Right.
figure it
they
out.
are. That's our guy Ishbia, by the way, the new owner of the Twins, who owns that. They're already in second apron. They're gonna if they get Jimmy, they're gonna invent a third apron for them. They aren't gonna do anything. They're already in the second apron with the guys they got now. He's
Yeah.
not going to the Suns, for God's sakes. They can't afford that.
He's
I
also
mean,
how old now? 35?
35. God, and he doesn't play, and he misses 25 games a year. So, although I've had fun on Twitter saying we got to get Jimmy in here to help with the chemistry.
I mean, it would be fun. It'd be fun for a half season to see what
You
happens.
think
Jimmy would
you
love
think when
Ant.
you think when the Knicks were just losing 3 straight, that Tibbs walked over to Cat and said, "Jimmy, you think we should bring Jimmy in here, Cat?"
Oh man.
He was doing it again last night, though. I watched a little of the end of the game. They're up 22, 2.5 minutes to go. Brunson's on the court. The Hart's on the court. The Cat just left about 30 seconds earlier. They're winning by 22.
Pat, when they were here at Target Center, I mean, the game was over in the second quarter. They were up by
Yes.
35 points
Yes.
in the second half, and Cat still wound up playing like 39 minutes in that game.
Yes, yeah, he's a different guy, but yeah, I tell you, nobody's got more out of Cat than him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. The bookends of his career to this point.
That's true. Hey, let's throw in a plug for last night on our station. St. Thomas knocks off South Dakota State. We were
Roll
on the
Tom.
radio, right, last night? And,
Yeah, roll Toms.
by
Let's
one
go.
point, and South Dakota State's good. That was a big game for them. They're unbeaten in the conference. And I think we're probably finding out why the Gophers wouldn't play St. Thomas. They'd probably get beat by 15. And I'll tell you one thing, St. Thomas is not going 12 for 27 at the line. I can guarantee you. They're going to make
No.
they're going to make more free throws than that. So
They practice their free throw. That's always been a
yes, they
question
do.
with Gopher basketball, I feel
Do
like.
they
You guys practice your free throws?
Yeah, people always say
Patina
that.
used to love that question.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
right.
we that's a great idea. I'm going to implement that next
Lauren.
practice.
I miss this, in a way, you miss his smart ass. By the way, he lost like 6 transfers. He's got 9 new ones down there. He's been the king of the transfers. They're having a good year again. So anyway,
All right, Pat, we'll talk tomorrow. Enjoy
All right.
your evening.
See you again.
Reusse Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold.